And again I say, unless you have that eternal perspective, there is nothing for you to hold on to. Nothing for you to hold on to. It's a heavy burden. It's like the man, 70 kilo, 80 kilo on the back of a donkey. That big, heavy bag. His bag goes, straight, it goes like this, bent. Hardly it moves. But when the destination is reached, he's taken out, the man comes and he pat on the back, and then, he gives the food and the drink and whatever he needs and the rest and all that. The joy comes at the end, not at the beginning. If he feeds the donkey full at the beginning, the donkey cannot carry these things because it cannot breathe, overfill stomach, and the weight on the back. No, it walks on a half empty stomach. The Lord makes us sometimes half empty in our life so that we will go more forward. When we reach our destination, we have everything. I always say this, many others have said it, I'm sure. When the final account is taken, the disciple will be ahead others. When the final account is taken, the disciple will be ahead others. Until the final account is taken, everybody seems to be ahead the disciple. Yes. Until the final account is taken, everybody seems to be ahead the disciple. When the final account is taken, the disciple is ahead everybody. There is something happens in the tally. When the Lord adds up things, these people get ahead. Yes, definitely. God gave a Samuel to Hannah. Hannah wanted a son not for her enjoyment, but for the people of God, because Hannah, when they are with her husband, had to worship God and seen certain things, how these Eli's sons were wicked men and what all they were doing it, and Hannah's heart was burdened, and she went inside and sat there and cried and said, if you give me a male child, I will raise that child for you. He will be a Nazarite for you. The evil and the wickedness of Eli's sons will be, removed, taken care of. The Lord bless her with a son. When 3 years old, Hannah took Samuel to Eli and handed over. At a very late age, Hannah bore the son. But the Lord did something, gave 4 more sons and I think 2 daughters. 3 more? Or 4 more? I think 3 or 4. Yes. Yeah. Well, I'm a little liberal, so okay. 3 or 4 sons, 2 daughters or something. God is liberal. You gave 1 to me, I gave you 3 or 4. Isn't that amazing? That's the way God does things. He always does. He always does. He's an amazing God. So never feel that it is a loss to be a disciple. It's true, in the world people will, think you are crazy, you are eccentric, you are out of your mind, something abnormal for you and all those things. But up there the Lord is watching and writing in your account book that you have made sacrifices for our God. It's great, isn't it? Yes. So that picture is a beautiful picture. I always liked it. God is pleased with people who seek spiritual things from Him. In 1 Kings chapter 3, verses 4 to 15, we don't read, that's a passage we talked about Solomon, asking God about wisdom. And the response of the Lord was, just like in the case of Hannah, gave 3 more sons, 2 more daughters. And Solomon just asked for understanding. And the way God talking in, he was so excited about it. I like that one. Maybe we can we can read that passage that God was so pleased, well pleased with Solomon's request for understanding. God said, oh, you did not ask for might or power or money or gold or fame or name or anything, but you have asked for these things. I am well pleased, Solomon. I am well pleased. What do we pray for to God? What's the desire of our heart? That's the question. What are we asking God? Sometimes our prayers are detrimental to our welfare. Sometimes our prayers are detrimental because we way up in the root of our mind there is a worldly desire. Maybe we pretend to be spiritual, covering it up. You cannot cover it from God. God had seen that. Yes. Everybody else in your family got so much money and you are a disciple and you do not have this and that they have. That sort of things. And you may be asking, God, why don't you give me also some of the material things that others are having? And God said, that's not my plan and purpose. When a disciple is blessed with material things, he becomes miserable. Miserable means miserable. It's just like somebody coming and dumping 1 million old cancelled rupee in our account.
What to do with it?
What to do with it? What to do with it? You are stuck with it. You cannot burn it, you cannot take it to the bank, you cannot give it to anybody. Here it is. Yeah, God will not do that to us. But sometimes he said that there's a verse in the Psalms which says that, sometimes He answers our prayers, but with that one also the leanness of the heart. The leanness of the heart. Yes. I have a relation, had a relation actually. God had blessed them with many children, but then the last child was a boy. This child had swallowed the hypertension medicine or a handful of diabetic medicine or something. This 3-year-old child. Immediately rushed to the hospital and the pressure went down. The pressure went down. It's very difficult for doctors. So the mother waited there and cried and told the Lord that, Lord, I love you so much, don't take my child away. I have not asked anything else. Only this I asked. They already got 4 children, sons and 2 daughters, I think, or 3 sons and 2 daughters. Well, the Lord answered the prayer, I guess. The child saved. But later years when she was very old, she one day told me, I prayed the wrong prayer at that day. The Lord should have taken him because he had given me more tears than anybody. He loved a girl that she never wanted. That was a tragedy. His son went away, married a Hindu girl in a Hindu temple. Daughter ran away with another. So the whole family is, suffered so much. And she said, I have asked the wrong prayer. He has also sent the leanness of the heart with it. She said, I should have never asked that. I should have said, may your will be done. Sometimes, that is from her perspective. That is her, but from God's perspective, I don't know. We don't know. But she suffered. All the other children were very godly and a very nice family, very highly used family. But when this happened, it's a tragedy. Suffered so much. So sometimes we can ask for things against, God's will, and God may, because we insist. You think of King Hezekiah. The Lord said, set your house in order, you are going to die. How blessed he would have been if he died at that time, the best king. During that 15 years, he gave birth to a man called Manasseh. Because Manasseh was only 12-year-old when he became king. God gave him 15 more years. And Manasseh is the one who destroyed Israel. The sins of Manasseh cannot be atoned, God said. For the sin of Manasseh, I am going to destroy Jerusalem. And the Babylonians were brought in and destroyed. How nice it would have been if Ezekiel said, may your will be done. Sometimes, we can ask the wrong. A disciple never Ever will, because he only will say that, not my will, God, your will be. That. Because his value system is that. His prayer is, your will be done in my life as it is in heaven. Thy kingdom come. So we need to be a disciple, they have to pay a higher price because God wants to give them a higher premium. Yes. The blessings we get is proportional to the cost we have to pay. So, now wonderful and amazing, isn't it? Yes. So the disciple's mindset is basically spiritual. A spending for God mindset as opposed to a saving for self and family mindset. A dominance mindset over a humbling mindset is what the disciple will have. A humbling mindset as opposed to a dominance mindset.
What is the first one?
I said a spending for God mindset as opposed to a saving for self or family mindset. A humbling before others and the Lord mindset as opposed to a dominance mindset. A serving mindset as opposed to a ruling mindset. It's a giving mindset as opposed to a receiving mindset. Well, it's amazing, As I said, when we have these mindset and we have our mind on heavenly things, our value systems are heavenly things, I tell you the Bible guarantees, the Lord guarantees that we will be well off, ultimately. Many of the sorrows others has to suffer because of the wrong choices, we will not. Our sorrows will be for the sake of the kingdom of God, for the glory of God. Suffering for the gospel and for the Lord, for which there is a reward. Their suffering is not for the Lord or for His glory, for the wrong choices they make. They bring such pain, Yes, such pain. It's like putting a thorn in your pocket, all the time. All the time. So you turn this, something there. Turn. You only put it there. The others, now the disciples, it is the thorn others carrying, when they get an opportunity, they do it. They are not going to do it forever. The Lord is going to show. But in your own pocket lies the thorn. That's not going to go away. Many people have digged their own, ditches. The Lord said, come after me. Come after me. Follow me. He will bless us. He will give us. So discipleship is an amazing investment. The commodity that we deal with are spiritual commodities, not material commodities. Yes. Our profit is not counted here. Our profit will be counted there. As I said, only dearness allowance, DA will be given here. But our salary package will be there. How blessed will be. We can live on DA here and all the salary there. Others get their whole salary and DA here. They invest in projects and one day what they look at it and they see in smoke everything comes. So there is no joy, no peace for them. Okay? So that's all I have prepared for today actually. So I will stop here. Yes. So how you like discipleship? Something you want or something you say that we'll think about it? Yeah, I think you have to think about it very well. But this is all worth it. This is the game. We have to have an intense desire. Pray every day to God, Lord, make me a disciple. I want to be a disciple. I want to follow you. Give me the grace to follow you. Yes.
You mentioned about Solomon's prayer was that what went wrong because instead of getting the wisdom from God, so how do we,
well,
so
God can give us wisdom, but we should use it.
is that prayer wrong?
No, the prayer was not the wrong. One poor man went into, do tapas. He's a very poor man, so he went into the forest and tapas, you know what tapas is? Yeah, he said, so God finally, Devada appeared and said, what do you want? Said, I'm very poor, extremely poor, give me some blessings. So he gave him 3 coconuts. With these 3 coconuts, you can gain anything you want. All that you have to do is you take one coconut and in one, take your knife and one hit you have to break into 2. And as you break, you ask whatever, you get it. That's it. If you say, 10,000 pounds of gold, the gold will be right there. But if you say, whatever last item will be. So he and his wife, they said that, how to use, you have to use very wisely, only 3 coconuts. So the wife had an argument, she said, look at me, I have no chain, nothing. The first coconut you use, I should have a good gold chain. And said, you foolish woman, we can ask for 100 acres, 1,000 acres of land. For our children also. We can buy a gold chain afterward. No, she said, want a gold chain. So finally he agreed, okay. We'll ask for a gold chain. How many? So the mother-in-law is there. Mother-in-law was listening to all those things, and she was cutting the supari, with the old knife. So, as he was going to cut, she said, for me a pakudi, that is a thing to cut the supari also. So the last item will come, So this man got so angry at her and said, your mother's head, cut. Wherever look, there is a mother-in-law's mother's head. Over the children, over the wife, in the plate, on the bed, everything. Oh, terrible. One coconut is gone. So took the second coconut. For a while they kept the other coconut, thinking this mother-in-law's head will go away, but mother-in-law's head doesn't go away. So he took the second one and he's, in a little angry and frustrated, said, no more head. So nobody has head. Mother-in-law doesn't have, children doesn't have, wife doesn't have, nothing. So he took the third one and said, like before, everybody one head. So it is not the giving of the coconut that went wrong, it is the use of the coconut. Solomon was given 3 coconuts by God. What did he do? He first of all went and married the daughter of Pharaoh. There began. All the evils of Egypt, God saved them from there.
And he brought it.
He brought it. Oh, how can he be blessed? Then married how many? 300 wives and 700 concubines. That means every little or big king all around the world is his father-in-law or brother-in-law. Solomon was politically very wise because Solomon never waged a war. Who will come to fight against son-in-law? So very cunning person. But with that one he destroyed the whole. So when God gives us wisdom, we need to use your wisdom wisely. Otherwise you will become unwise. That's what happened to Solomon. Solomon, God blessed Solomon. God gave him Solomon clear instruction. You should not, when Moses was told, when in the future Israel will have kings, the king shall not multiply wives, shall not multiply gold, shall not multiply horses. Solomon multiplied all 3. All 3. Solomon was blatantly disobedient to God. He wanted to be a big king like everybody. God gave him wisdom. He knew how to administer. Administration was very good and all. But as for Solomon, he did not use that wisdom for God's glory and for his blessing. So Solomon was responsible. Nehemiah in his book, said that it is Solomon, how wise he was, it is Solomon who destroyed the kingdom of Israel. Nehemiah said it was very plainly. Solomon did it. It was true. Solomon did it. So sometimes God can bless us and, if we don't use it, use God's wisdom prayerfully. Ask God every day, what shall I do? Lord, I need to take a wife. Whom should I take? One of the virgins of the people of Israel. Instead he went immediately to Pharaoh because Egypt was the strongest kingdom in the world. So the reputation, the greatest king's daughter is married to Solomon. Wow. Built a palace for her, everything for her. How tragic it is. It's a tragedy. So sometimes God can bless us, but we won't be blessed. മലയാളത്തിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ പറയാറുണ്ട്, ദൈവം വിചാരിച്ചാലും അവനെ രക്ഷപ്പെടുത്താൻ ഒക്കില്ല. Even if God wants, God can save you. You know, because some people they will only do foolishness. Only do foolishness. Solomon did so many foolish things. People were taxed like anything. So Solomon died, people came to Rehoboam and requested that the taxation should be lowered. And that young guy was advised by the senior ones, listened to them, but the younger one said what? Wow. So he lost 10 tribes. Sometimes this happens, it's a tragedy, the tragedy of life, yes. But discipleship is unique. Okay, we'll stop here.
One more question.
Yeah.
Are all believers disciples?
Not all believers. All believers should be made disciples. Because the commandment is make disciples. That's it. Disciples are not born. They are made. How are they made? Baptizing them and teaching them to obey all that I have commanded.
So then in heaven, will all those who are in heaven be disciples or?
No, there will be a lot of believers and disciples. There will be categories in heaven. Paul's own words in 1 Corinthians 15, the glory of one star differs from another star, even so are those in resurrection. There will be little twinkling stars and 5 paise little, candles. But they are all in heaven. Nobody is in hell.
So then what is the line between a normal believer and a disciple?
A normal believer is a disciple. A normal believer will be a disciple.
So you can have an abnormal.
But they are not abnormal, there are a lot of normally, that they are born again and baptized, but they don't come to meetings every Sunday, they don't obey many of the commandments. They occasionally come. Occasionally they will go and do whatever they want to. Are there believers who drink? There are many. Smoke, yes. Who beat their wives? Yeah, occasionally. There are people like that, Yeah. And their wives also occasionally beat their wives. There is less problem in those houses than the other way. Because when the wife beats, he will, little ashamed, so he will not do very much troubles anymore. There are all kinds of, yes. That's why Paul said it to them that examine yourself and see whether you are in faith. All who claim to be believers are not believers. There are some who are not, but all born again believers are not. They should be made disciples. That's an active verb. Go make disciples. It is to commandment given to the disciples. They should go preach the gospel. Those who believe must be baptized. Those who are baptized, they must be taught to obey all that Christ has commanded. Now, people stop teaching them to obey, only teach them. They don't teaching anybody to obey. How can you teach them to obey? You tell them that you have to love your wife, and then next Sunday you go every home, and this week you loved your wife, and wife called, did this guy love you this week like Christ died? He loved you. This sort of thing nobody follow up. It will be nice if you follow up, but we'll have other problems. That's another side to it. But it will be nice, And honor God with all your giving and everything. Bring your passbook and accounts book and everything. See what's your income, how much money you gave to the Lord. This is not the way to honor the Lord. This is not what the Bible gives, and this is the way. So will anybody? You ask somebody to bring their account book. He will say, first of all, you bring your account book and show me. Let me take a look at it. It's not going to work out. It's not going to work out, but it should work out. But we are so independent people, We love freedom. We don't want anybody to interfere in our life. You ask somebody, brother, you didn't come last Sunday. No. One brother stopped going to church. He wants to know why I did it. Who is he? I go where I want. I don't want anybody to ask me. Why? People don't like it. You even can say that nice to meet you again because then you say, nice to meet me again. So you just come, when people come sit down, whenever they want, they just go. Whenever they want to come, they come. Whenever they want to go, then people will come. Do whatever you want. Some go to the temple and get married, but Sunday they come home breaking bread. Because that's my private business, where, whom I married, how I married, who are you to ask it? People don't appreciate that. So the churches that give a lot of freedom attract a lot of people, good or bad. But you cannot have disciples that way. No way. Teach them obedience, obey all the Christ commandments. How many commandments in the New Testament? Every one of them should be told to be obeyed. That's not going to be easy. Avoid your headache for you also. Honestly, trouble for you also. You just tell them what the Lord said. Gentlemen, you want to obey, you obey, or you don't want to obey. I just want to tell you this is what the Lord said. My duty is over. Here I am going. This is a sort of Christian life now, and everybody is happy. Yeah, everybody is happy. Otherwise, you are getting into trouble. Yeah. Especially you are doing something that stopped doing almost 2000 years back, at least 1700 years back. Since the day of Constantine, nobody is making disciples, unless occasionally here and there maybe somebody. But otherwise, no. It's a general Christianity. No more Nazarenes. So, people are happy. Even some churches have ruled out no baptism, no Lord's Supper. Sunday meeting also starts at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock it is over, 11:30. Because before the butcher finishes all these things, he has to go. He has completed plastic bag in the pocket. On the way back, the meat has to be bought. That's what the purpose of coming is almost that. This is the new brand of Christianity. There is no use in saying anything. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. Yeah, we say that's the way it is. December 3rd, 2016. That's the way it will be. December 4th, 2016. But things going like that. We cannot change. Very difficult to change. But God desires everybody should be made a disciple. So some people say that, well, the book of Acts talk only about disciples, the number of disciples multiplied. That's true, because they were making everybody a disciple. Everybody a disciple was made. Disciple was a synonym for believer. Once upon a time. No more. It's not a synonym anymore. If you make everybody a disciple, then every disciple is a Christian, every Christian is a disciple. If you make no more disciples, then every believer is not a disciple. So that's the situation today. So I think we have to start somewhere. We have to start. Yes. Okay.
Close in prayer, please.